Wrestling fans around the world, welcome back to Tampa's finest Wrestle House. We are on if everybody that we had accordingly planned showed up, it would have been the 8th of 9, I should say. Great interviews, great superstars here. I am very happy to be joined by a man whose content you are going to love with what we've been taping earlier this afternoon, the one, the only JTG. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Enjoying, besides the rain, I'm enjoying WrestleMania week and weekend.
Wearing your exclusive WrestleMania t-shirt.
Yes, with the Go Fun. Why be a king when you could be a god? Get yours today.
Now, is that available for purchase?
It is. You could get, if you want the WrestleMania exclusive one, you could purchase it here and we could.
All right, we can send it out. Now, what does the shirt go for?
It's 20.
Plus shipping and handling,
exactly.
of course. Plus shipping and handling.
Plus, I forgot about that part, so thank you. Yeah, so yeah.
If you want the JTG shirt, folks, it is available. What about the one on your chest if we have a fanatic that wants it?
Ooh.
If they want the real deal.
If they want the one
if they want to be attached to you like Vicente's Mr. Sacco is attached to him.
Well, it's going to make this even better that from that light tube, those 2 light tubes I took from my...
you got hardcore.
There's a little bit of blood on it and a lot of sweat, so that raised the price a little bit.
You get a little DNA along with the shirt itself.
Yeah, so.
Ring one, he went to battle in that shirt. It's going to be on Wrestling Insiders all spring and summer, folks. If you want his actual shirt, make us an offer. If you want just the shirt, like we said, 20 plus shipping and the beautiful, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 beautiful 8x10s. If you go to the link, which I will continue to relink during this live stream, you can just simply order the photo of your choice. We will personalize it any way you like it, whether it be to yourself, a loved one, a friend, even an enemy if you want. You can send them a thread on an 8x10, I guess,
especially
right?
with that picture right there, definitely scared him.
I tell you, folks, I mentioned this during the show, but here's a guy that is certainly nowhere near past his prime. He's in great physical condition. You have so many companies right now that are trying to find talent that will generate your interest. Here's a guy that was with WWE for so long. I think much more could have been done with him, one man's opinion. I hope to see you back on a national platform sometime soon when there's a lot of companies that have a lot of repetitive wrestling, a lot of repetitive interviews. And I think variety is the spice of life when it comes to wrestling. You know what I mean? I thought WWE was nuts that they didn't bring in Khali when he came back for the Rumble. I mean, look at how, nothing against you, but look at how great Khali looked when he came back. Did you see the Rumble?
This past Rumble? Yeah, I did watch it.
I mean, was he not looking, I mean, if he looked that good back in the mid-2000s, he probably would have got a mega push. And then you know why I thought it was going to go nowhere was because the next night on Raw, they had him do a tag match, him and Hardy against, I think it was Elias and Jackson Riker, and Khali did the backstabber, and instead of going for the pin, he tagged in Hardy, and Hardy did the finish. And I said, you know what? If they were going to bring him in and push him, he would have got the pin.
I actually worked Carlito a few weeks ago.
You know what I wanted to ask you? Yeah. What are you doing something with the Cauliflower Rally Club this year?
I probably
in September in Las Vegas.
Probably, I don't know.
You don't even know.
I get bookings, and I have it marked off on my calendar, but I don't know. Until like maybe a weeks before I get I need reminders.
You need reminders.
Yeah, because I have so much going on. Yeah.
All right. Well, we had an order come in. Brian Duffy, our longtime friend, wanted 2 number 2s. So let's take a look at that. Number 2 is the one with you and Shad in black.
Okay, the first promo pick.
Not 1, but 2. 2. Brian, I know you're probably in the chat. Let us know how you want those made out, buddy. Do you want them personalized to you and your fiance, 1 each? Do you want them just signed so you can resell them on eBay someday? Let us know how you want them made out. Okay. So we're going to have 1 of those photos made out to Brian, and the second one will be made out to Jen with 1 N. Nice and simple.
Spell Brian, we could go with a Y.
B-R-I-A-N. And I'll tell you.
B-R-Y.
No, B-R-I.
B-R-I.
A-N.
All right.
He is actually the son of Choo Choo Charlie, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Seedy. Brian, thank you so much for helping the cause, sir. When I get back to Boston, I will be mailing all of these photos that have been purchased this week with love. And maybe hold it up and show it to him so he sees what's going to be coming.
Sure. Throw a little chair in there.
Yeah, get a little cheese. A good I've known Brian, my gosh, since the late 90s. Long-time friend, long-time fan. Look at that, Brian. That one's for you. And now one for his fiancée, Jen, who, when she sees this 8x10, she may have some impure thoughts.
Oh.
Impure thoughts. I don't know if that one's going to go up with her, or maybe it might help. I don't know. That's a difference.
There we go, right there. And is it personalized or just a
Jen? Jen.
Jen. There you go.
And we'll take some questions from the fans here. Did you have any dream opponents that you would have loved to have wrestled in any era from our friend Rise? Who would have been a dream tag team for Cryme Time, or even you singles?
We definitely wanted to work New Day, the Usos. Street Profits would have been a great. Would have been some good backstage segments.
I wish Street Profits had what you guys have. You know what I mean?
What is that? What is that? What is that? The Edge? What is it?
Definitely the Edge. I think the fun is almost overdone with them. I don't think they bring the credibility physically that you guys brought to the ring. I think Montez Ford is a phenomenal athlete.
Oh yeah.
But he looks like a straw. You know what I mean? There's no bulk. And then Angelo Dawkins kind of looks like an out of shape Harlem Globetrotter. You know what I mean? You know, they got the cups. Their promos can be kind of fun, but you guys had really fun promos. And then when you went to the ring, you said, okay, if I saw those two guys on the street, they could kick the shit out of me. And maybe the Street Profits could. But what I'm saying is, as far as the presentation goes, it just lacks the overall edge and appeal that you guys have. It's my opinion. A lot of people may disagree with me and think I'm completely wrong.
What are the fans saying? They agree with
fans, what do you think? Cryme Time or Street Profits? How come you and Shad never won tag team titles in WWE, or you any single titles in WWE?
I know there was a few occasions, a few times you were supposed to win the tag team titles, but if you want to find out why we did it, you have to grab the book.
Oh, see, even during this live signing, he's going to get the cheap plugs in, folks. Again, he has written not one, but two great books.
Actually, three. The third
what
one.
What the hell is the third one?
The third one was a workout book.
Well, you know what? You can tell I read that one. Maybe you and Tony Atlas can collaborate on that.
Yeah, get over.
Tony is still a personal trainer at a YMCA up in Maine.
Really?
Outside of these COVID times. Well, you know, he really was a legit Mr. USA.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, he's in the bodybuilding Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
As much as we laugh and joke about him sometimes. But I mean, right now, peak physical condition.
Yeah, I saw Tony. He was me mugging. He's like, you know why I'm me mugging you? Because your arms are bigger than mine.
Did he say that?
He said that to me at the hotel, yeah.
Now, do you think right now you're in better condition than you were in WWE?
Yes.
It kind of looks it, yeah.
Yeah, not just physically, not just on the outside, but inside too.
Now, why on the inside?
The inside, my mind is right, and also when I was working out, I wasn't working out I just was working out to look good. Now I'm working out to look good and be on top of my health. Like my cardio was great. I could go on the ring now. And I was in a tag team, so I didn't know how going with the likes of AJ Gray. You have to go. You have to be able to go. Yeah.
Do you look back, and I hopefully we'll get to this point when we continue our interviews, when we get back north up in Boston. Do you think it was a missed opportunity when they had a chance to do something with you as a singles and it just kind of went nowhere of great importance?
I think I was still finding myself.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I was going back and forth with the look. I know getting out of the Cryme Time tag team, it was just by myself. I wanted to get away from the Cryme Time gimmick.
Yeah, as you can even tell by that the promo photo up front with you in the red tights.
I was just reaching for straws at that time, and now I wish if I could go back in time, I probably would have grew the beard out. Probably would have cut the hair and have the look that I have now.
Did WWE try and give you any encouragement or any suggestions as far as what you might be able to do to get a stronger singles push in the company?
Absolutely not.
They get.
I think you're on your own with that.
You know, sometimes I wonder. They say, you know what? Oh, creative has nothing for you. Well, you know, is it the talent or is it the creative?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Again, one man's opinion. But I always liked what you guys did, and I thought a lot of people probably had the same feeling that you were going to be the odd man left out once you guys broke
I
up.
was going to be the Marty Jannetty of the team.
Well, what I could say about my Marty Jannetty, but yeah, pretty much, yeah. You were going to be the Marty Jannetty of the team. You were going to be the one that kind of got the shaft, so to speak. And you were the one that wound up staying a lot longer than Chad ever did.
8 years in that business. 8 years in WWE.
So tell us what happened with that. Why is it that you wound up going the singles route? Was there a reason why the team split?
I think we both wanted it.
Did you really?
I think we both wanted to go because they weren't doing anything with the tag team.
No.
As much as we love being a tag team, they weren't. We didn't have the right platform. You know, when you're in a tag team, you haven't had the tag team titles, and at WrestleMania, you know, that's when they showcase their biggest talents when they're putting together tag teams, two superstars to be a tag team to go against the tag team titles, and you have Cryme here who have everything very discouraging. So
it must have been,
yeah.
Because you're not a dumb guy by any stretch of the imagination. No, honestly, with all the stuff that you're involved with in and out of wrestling right now, you know you were much more over than a lot of the people that they were pushing at that time.
Exactly.
Do you think there was ever a reason why they didn't go all the way with you guys when they had the potential to? Or
heat, politics, who knows?
Did you have heat?
Absolutely.
Who'd you have heat with?
Our book is my first book is strictly on how to avoid heat because I had so much experience in it. I wanted to warn the other guys who's coming up in the business about it. But now I tell guys, don't even worry about heat. Just do you. As long as your intentions are good and you want to learn your craft, you're gonna get heat. You know, especially if you're good. You're gonna get heat.
That's probably the best way to get heat. It's just by being good.
Like, damn, he's so good. He got the top spot. He stole the show. Who do you think he is? Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take it.
Just like I said during I don't want to give away too many spoilers about what we discussed on the talk shows, but just fun. You know what I mean? That's one thing when you think of Cryme Time, fun. Mm-hmm. And that again is before you get to the steak and potatoes of what it is you do, which is wrestling matches. And you look like two well-conditioned athletes that could be, in theory, tough men. Yeah. They could go out there and fight and win matches and win titles. And when you saw just, again, such a lackluster tag team division at the time, maybe it was the wrong era that you came up in. You know what I mean? Maybe if you waited.
Great team, wrong era.
Maybe if you waited, if they waited just a couple of, well, you know what, you can't always work with someone's age. But I mean, if they waited just a couple of more years for the New Day Usos generation, think of some of the matches that you guys could have put together, especially, when you're friends with people. It helps the cause even more. And you and Kofi, have known each other and have been buddy-buddy for so long, too. So missed opportunity, but fans, I know you don't want to miss the opportunity. Head on over right now to bostonwrestling.com. The link is up in the YouTube video. We had fun with Dutch Mantel just about 24 hours ago. 24 hours from now, we're going to be joined by the Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Gerald Briscoe. Jay is with us for a limited amount of time. He is one of the VIP guests of WrestleMania 37, from what I understand. They sent out the private jet to pick him up. Now, what did you think of the first night of WrestleMania?
Oh, first night of WrestleMania was amazing. Drew and Bobby put on an amazing match, told an amazing story. I'm glad that Bobby Lashley held the title. I really thought Drew was going to get it.
We talked about that.
Yeah. But I'm glad they kept the belt on Bobby, and he won it with his finish, established him as a champion. He's a dominant force, and looking forward to see what else they have in store for Bobby.
Maybe outside of what we talked about on the talk shows a little bit, just to give the fans something a little fresh here on the live stream, I would have Bobby hold on to that belt until it comes to the time when I think it's inevitable that Brock Lesnar comes back.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That's one I would go out of my way to pay to see.
Yeah, I'll sell.
It's a shame it hasn't done. It has been done. To me, that is the match. Yes. Lashley, Lesnar. I don't know if you hold off till Dallas next year when you try and fit 100,000 people into the stadium in Dallas, or if maybe you go for a SummerSlam or something like that.
That's a WrestleMania match.
I don't know how I don't know why they
Let's
didn't pull the
keep our
trigger
fingers
on it.
crossed for next year in Dallas.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully,
All
I'm with the company. I could watch. I could.
Well, you know what? If it makes you feel any better, you'll always be with us.
Oh, there you go.
The other choice may be a little bit more lucrative to you, but you know what? The fans are asking here: would JTG wrestle for TNA or AEW?
Yeah, like any company that comes to me with with something that makes sense. You know, right now I'm passionate about wrestling. You know, before, especially with the passing of my best friend and tag team partner, I was about to hang up my boots.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I was about to hang
up. I didn't
really?
I
was like, definitely not tag team wrestling. I'm definitely not doing another tag team. And then, you know, after, you know, meditating and, you know, doing my spiritual practices, I kind of heard, like, say, you can't stop now. You got to keep going. And I think I've been having a busy schedule. I've been establishing myself as a singles competitor, and I'm turning heads on the indie scene. And I definitely got to say that's shat in my ear. So I'm representing the both of us.
Well, you know what? And then I was just going to say that maybe out of everything that has happened as far as your wrestling goes, that's one positive that you can take from that.
Exactly.
You can take from Shad, and you can just kind of dedicate what you do going forward and have that, you know, a little bit of his spirit inside of you.
Oh, he's definitely with me. Yeah. I'm out there. Yes.
Yeah. That's again, you know, it's so sad when these situations come up, as we talked about in a very in-depth episode. But, you know, like with Paul Bearer, even at our live events now, I have a couple of pictures and we put it on a chair, and that's his chair in the locker room. He'll always have his own chair in our locker room or something like that. So I wish I still had his wisdom and advice, because let me tell you, there are times I need his wisdom and advice. To have him as a sounding board near the end, after his wife passed away for the final few years, you know, you say we talked every day, but there was some form of electronic communication almost every day with the guy. And for him to, even though he did have health problems, a very unexpected death, it was just brutal. But fans, again, the 8x10 available, all four of them. We have the first promo right there with the two in black and white. We have JTG and Chad in the jeans. We had JTG's really rocking those shades that I think they might have sold one or two of them if they merchandised them.
Yeah, cool story behind that. You already know. You gotta get the book.
We have JTG in the red. That was his singles WWE promo. And that one that's kind of dead center in the middle with him in the black tights where he looks really angry, that's modern day JTG. That's got to be what, 2021?
Yep, Jay the God. Yep.
And what are you looking to try and do things a little different, away from the Cryme Time personality now?
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that.
So Jay the God, he's just a singles competitor. He's making a name for himself right now in the independent scene. And look at this. Yeah, you wouldn't recognize me if you watch me. Yeah.
When you were kind of finishing out your WWE stint, basically collecting a check, did you lose the passion to do it at all?
Absolutely, because when you're creative, especially as myself, I'm very creative. You know, you have good ideas, and you're giving these ideas, you know, to move your career forward, and it's like falling on deaf ears, or they would like take a little bit of your idea and give it to somebody else and just change like a few things. Like, so you said it was a bad idea, but you gave it to somebody else, or you just ignored it. Like that kind of affects you mentally. Kind of
for yourself?
Always, yes.
Yeah.
I had a lot of great storylines that I had pushed. Some with Booker T. I took the story from Rocky V. Was it Rocky V where Rocky took that? What's the character's name? Under his wing, taught him how to box. You know. Yeah, there you go. That one. Which one was that? Rocky V.
Thank you, Chante.
Yeah, I wanted to do that storyline with Booker T. You know,
where he kind of took you under his wing. Yeah, that would have been kind of a cool story.
Time, you know, he took me under his wing. He got me to a certain point, and I didn't want to. Like, I Booker T, I got it from here, and then me and him have a blow.
And then you start to feud, almost like Bruno and Zbyszko back in the 80s. But did Booker like the idea? Did you ever talk to Booker about it?
I think that's our picture storyline for us. You know, I'll work with you. I don't think he heard the whole field. All the details, but he's like, I love to work with you.
He was happy enough. He would have been happy with the opportunity. And give Booker something fresh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes when you see and I say this often, it feels like a lot of the time you have the same guys and the same matches and even the same promos week after week and month after month. And variety is the spice of life. I think WWE, with not just you, but with anybody, with that they get a fresh quality body in there that can contribute, like Carlito. I mean, if they kept the two cousins with them, think of that faction they could have had. Think of Roman and the Usos against the Cologne faction.
That would be great. I mean, it can still be done. We'll see.
Well, it could be. Again, we've talked a lot about, the action figures in video games, but just a shame when you see great talent that you could be better utilized. But now the positive thing is there's more places. You've got AEW. They've got a checkbook that's wide open. Yeah. Impact Wrestling, even though, you talk about the Phoenix rising from the ashes from Greek mythology. How many times they've supposedly been dead and going under? Yeah. 19 years later, they're still alive, and they're still signing people to guaranteed money. Yeah. You got Ring of Honor out there now. Yep, they're still looking for people.
And there's another one. What's the other one? The Pope is over there. Trevor Murdoch.
NWA?
NWA, yes.
And I think the NWA kind of, you and I, even though I got a couple of years on you, we were pretty much fans around the same time.
Yeah.
The NWA was the NWA. What exists now is, be like, are you a baseball fan?
No, I don't watch any sports.
You don't watch any sports, and look at what's on your head.
I live in LA now, so I rep my city. Yeah.
Well, it'd be like trying to recreate the Montreal Expos in baseball, which is a baseball team that went out of ceased operations in the early 2000s. I think sometimes you have to go new instead, even though nostalgia is cool right now. The NWA was just kind of hoard out and pissed on for so long. But you know what? If they're able to survive, if they're able to get a TV deal, if they're able to sign contracts, they can all signatures on contracts. We have signatures on 8x10s available. You know what, JTG, why don't we show them how it's done a little bit, just in case the fans are confused with this cyber process. Why don't we I know our junior ambassador that is very late, that's looking forward to going to WrestleMania tonight. Why don't we sign one to him? Have it ready and waiting for him. I think he'd love that. Maybe, let's see, which one? I think he'd probably like the one, he'd know you best, where you have the shades on.
Okay. Yo.
Yo. And I got to spell that one for you. It's not easy. It is not easy. I used to feel for him at Christmas time when the relatives would spell his name wrong. So. And fans, the same can be done for you. We are running out of time. He's got a busy schedule. Again, he's could be, maybe he'll be involved in WrestleMania tonight. It's a weekend of surprises. He's in the best shape he's ever been in.
Sexier than ever. Don't forget that part.
And let me know. 2 is DEVAUGHN.
N as in Nancy?
N as in Nancy. You got it. And look, let's hold that up and just show the fans what they can get. Right now, the link, I'm going to put it up again. I also want to put up some of the other links of things you have going on. Your beard care line has become extremely popular.
Beard and body care, yes.
I take that back.
You just got to walk around with your beard smelling good. You have to have the body. You have to have the... From head to toe.
Well, I think Lance could be one of the spokespersons for it. I know he said he is looking for a tobacco-flavored scent.
We got that for you.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Mm-hmm. What is your most popular one?
The most popular one, almond. Everybody loves the almond.
They love the almond.
Yeah, my favorite is the strawberry lemonade.
All right. Well, you know what? I think I am going to, if we're going to continue to have Jay on, I almost want to be a guinea pig with some of these products, so I can tell you guys which ones are the best. I just put up the link for the 8x10s for the beard care products and body care. Is it true that you came up with Little Jimmy?
I had it was supposed to be called Self. And then he switched it to Little Jimmy,
SAH beardcare.com. Beardcare.com. Folks, if you have seen the commercials we have run with former WWE champion Kofi Kingston. That is the product, sahbeardcare.com. The commercials you see often on our programs, because you know what? This is a guy that I think is really cool, that's gone above and beyond to try and establish life for himself outside of wrestling. And a lot of our great superstars, as we've seen on the show, unfortunately don't have those platforms. Lisa V wants to know, is there a lady body care line?
Well, the ladies could use the body care, because it also comes with the shea butter, and it also comes with the mist. So yeah, the ladies could definitely use it.
So they can head on over to sahbeardcare.com as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let me tell you something, Lisa. I know you. She's got that Tony Atlas autograph photo in her bathroom.
Oh, wow.
I've never really heard of people hanging there. But Lisa, if you'd like a JTG photo, it is available, but you can also get the link to the beard care on there. Also want to give a plug or stream on Amazon.com.
Just type in JTG.
Just give it the old JTG, and you get options to get the physical and audio version of the book. Now, I imagine the audio version must be kind of fun.
Yeah, the fans love that because they get to hear my voice and the reflection and how I tell the story. So yeah, they enjoy that.
It's a shame that, and I imagine that it was self-published.
Yes.
So it was never on like Borders or a place like that for fans to be able to go and pick up a copy.
No.
So, all right. Yeah. Well, you know what's lousy? Even with my adventures over the past 27 years of doing this, since I was just a 13-year-old kid, I made it into one book, Al Snow's autobiography.
Really? Wow.
And the ghostwriter spelled my last name so wrong, you wouldn't even have a clue they were talking about me.
Wow. Okay.
Lisa, you owe us no explanation. You're a longtime friend of this show, and we love you. We appreciate the fact you are here. Anyone that is with us in the room right now, we are running extremely short on time. If you maybe could share the link across social media, that would be awesome, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Facebook wrestling groups, on Reddit, wrestling websites. Let's let everybody know JTG is here. We want to finish signing up all of these great photos. Before we began, I believe it was 362 pictures I think you signed before we started today.
Oh, my gosh.
His hand is ready to fall off. It's a good thing he has so many women and didn't need to use that right hand for other things. But that's
also,
a different story.
I take T-Ball, so I help you with my joint information.
And again, maybe explain to the folks what that is. We'll give that a plug as well.
Go to t-moss.com. Not only do I sell testosterone boosting sea moss, I also have black seed infused sea moss, and we all know the amazing effects of what black seed has on the body. And if you don't, I just tell you right now, if you Google it, black seed has been known for the cure for everything except death. I'm not making this up. Google it. So you have testosterone boosting sea moss, and then you also have black seed oil infused sea moss.
It's t.moss?
t-moss.com.
Yeah, we're going to put that up here on the link as well. JTG taped some great episodes with us today, folks. I know I say that a lot, that we have a lot of great content, but we just got a great vibe going, I think. And I want to continue it back home in Boston once we get there, because we know that a lot of the times the veterans of the sport, they have their career and then they're not all that interested in it anymore. You still are up to date with what's going on in the heart of our industry. So that to me makes appearances like yours evergreen, because there'll always be something to talk about, even if it's outside of the auspices of your own career. And you have, things going on in Boston to begin with. So it could be, one of those great fits.
Yes.
But you are based out of the beautiful, no, not California isn't the Sunshine State, is it?
No.
What's the nickname?
It should be, though,
what's the nickname for California, Vince?
Huh?
The Golden State. Oh, like the Warriors. All right. But you're not a basketball fan, so you wouldn't know that.
No, I don't know. Sorry. That's too much additional stress. I don't need that.
Is JTG still going to be in the virtual basement video game?
I should be. Shad and I both are supposed to be still be in the game. So there'll be a Cryme Time JTG, and then there'll also be the Jay the God character. There's a ton of independent talent, and they're using the what's the name of that video game? The video game that came out in the early 2000s.
Is it
No Mercy? That's the one that everybody loves and still plays to this day on their was it Super Nintendo? 64, yeah, people still play because it's such an amazing engine they use for that game. So I think they're using the same controls, and everybody's been waiting for this game for a few years. So
are there going to be a lot of guys in it? You know,
yes,
and
they have
yeah.
a lot of independent talent.
Oh, come on, let's come back to reality now, not fantasy land. I'm just trying to push this up to a few more Facebook wrestling groups before we go. Again, check out that link. If you click the blue bar at the top of the screen, you can order your JTG autographed 8x10 photo now. And then, like I noted,
spamming the chat asking what your favorite city to wrestle in is.
What is your favorite city to wrestle in?
Favorite city wrestling was it'll have to be New York MSG or the Staples Center. If it wasn't for the traffic in New York, New York would have won by far.
You never went back to New York once you left?
To move? Like
Yeah.
to live there? Absolutely not. I left there when I was 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never went back.
And that was it.
Yeah.
You and the AMC movie theater parted on
yes.
good terms.
Good
and
terms, yeah.
It was
I wish them the best on their future endeavors.
Off to Louisville, then to where? LA?
Boston, and then
Boston, then LA. Now, how did you wind up in Boston?
I met my ex-wife, yeah. And she lived
You met her in Boston?
No, I didn't meet her in Boston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, where was she hanging out? In Louisville? Or?
No, we were both happened to just be in New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, we met there. And then,
Bourbon Street? Or?
Not too far from Bourbon Street.
Not too far from Bourbon Street. And then that Boston accent, it was music to your ears. And now maybe you don't like it as much. I don't know how things are going there. That's a different story for a different time. You don't want that kind of heat, brother. Believe me. I got that dragon that's down the street right now in another hotel with the kid.
Man.
But that's another different story for a different time. He was looking forward to meeting you and getting a picture as she continues not to bring him over here to Wrestle House. But any other big things you have coming up outside of wrestling? We know you've been doing a lot of work in Hollywood. You've done some TV. You've done a little bit of movies. What else do we got? Commercials?
Yeah, I did a Geico commercial.
Did a Geico commercial?
Yeah, I dropped a big elbow drop on a wedding cake.
Was it a nationally played spot?
I think it was on the internet.
Geico's got the little green
show
guy
on YouTube.
Oh, I want to look that up.
Yeah, you can find it on there.
I had no idea. Let me see. I found one. Oh, wait. The sexy as hell beard care. Now it's got, is there actual butter in it?
It's shea butter.
The beard care?
Yeah, shea butter. And
see, that's way over.
With other essential oils and vitamins and stuff to feed your beard and get into the follicles and make sure, you have a sexy as hell beard.
Now, what made you decide, you know what, I want to be the beard guy?
I didn't want to be the beard guy. I just happened naturally. Men coming up to me and asking, I wanted my beard to be sexy so a woman could, rant and rave about it. But guys are coming up to me like, hey man, how you get your beard, so thick, it looks great, what can I do and blah blah. So I told him what I use, and you're like, you know what, I need to model this up and sell it, and add some scent to it to make it more, marketable. But yeah.
Did you have like your own?
I had my own little formula. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
And you came up with that on your own?
Came up with that on my own.
And then how did you get to the point where you said you want to market it and sell it?
Oil. And I was taking it under my tongue, and then I also found out it was good for your hair and skin if you put it on.
Oh.
So I added it to my shea butter, but black tea doesn't have the best smell, so I had to figure, how much to use, and then I also added the other essential oils. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing great. As Lisa V just said, shea butter is awesome. Yeah. Lisa, Jay is going to try and give me the Frankenstein makeover, I guess, between his beard care products and the health supplements he talked about. Again, show him the guns, brother. Show him the guns.
Oh, man. These are
brother,
things. Oh,
which way to the beach?
That way. And don't try me either.
They need to be registered with the police station at this point. They're getting so big. Again, almost like Carlito. Imagine, and not to take anything away with your body of work that you did do, but just imagine if you were, that's a body company. If you had that just maybe a little thicker, a few more pounds, then they might give you a little bit more nudge in the Lisa V says, after you work with me, Dan is going to be hot stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Hot stuff.
Hot stuff.
I haven't heard that probably since the 90s, but you know what? I'll take it any way I can get it. Again, fans, running out of time here. We'll give it another, we'll say 2 or 3 minutes before we go. Again, Jay, you're on Twitter at JTG1284. And on Instagram, he got a little bit more creative, I believe. Let's see if I get it right now first. JTG121084?
Yes.
Because he's a birthday boy in December.
It's kind of long. I've been trying to switch it, but Instagram has not got back to me. I just wanted JTG, and
no, someone else has it.
I was gonna get JTG 1284. I was on Twitter, Instagram when it first came out, and I had my name, and then I deleted the account, and then I tried to get it back, and somebody swiped it for me. But
you had an account and got rid of it. I see what you mean.
And then the person no longer uses it, so I'm trying to get it back.
All right, well, fans, again, we're going to refresh a few more times. I can't tell you, we've had some great guests this weekend. We started with the Sinister Minister James Mitchell of TNA and ECW fame, which was very unique. I don't know if you've had a chance to interact with James over the year. I'm sure you're familiar with him, but some great, some unique interviews we taped with him. We had also on Thursday TJ Perkins, who won the WWE Cruiserweight Classic. I tell you, it was almost a conversation gone wrong, Jay, because you know how the boys talk and so on and so forth, and with rats and such. Ooh. Well, he kept talking about he had all of these pigs in Las Vegas, which I thought was almost a little cruel. Rats is kind of the terminology that wrestlers use, but pigs. But the pigs he was talking about weren't of that variety. He actually has pet pigs.
Really?
And it kind of went over my head for a minute. He does. He lives in Vegas and he has pigs.
Okay.
Talk about a unique place to have pork running around your home. But he says they're very nice pets. I don't know.
I heard that too.
Have you ever had a pig?
No. Give me a little piggy.
Well, I guess it depended on the city. I don't know. Then we had one that I think, again, where we kind of came into fandom at the same time. We had Demolition Smash, Barry Dasso, breaking down the ninth. Al Snow, who put you over not like $1 million, but $1 million and one. He really respects you for what you've done and gone through in your career. And yesterday we had Zeb Coulter, a.k.a. Dutch Mantel, a man with many great stories. No? What's that? Well, New Jack didn't make it.
We got our New Jack moment anyway.
Well, no, we mentioned that. Demolition Axe had his Clark Griswold adventure, and New Jack just texted, dude, I'm drunk, and is going to be making his way to the studio in Boston. Does JTG wish he could have wrestled in Mexico or Japan?
I've wrestled in Mexico, but that was with WWE. And I actually, when I was overseas in Pakistan, me and Del Rio talked, and he was going to bring me in.
Oh, boy. Wow.
And we all know how that worked out. And then I would love to go. That's definitely on my to-do list, Japan. I've been reaching out to some contacts about Japan. Haven't heard anything back yet, but
it sucks. It'd be tough right now just to try and get over there.
I think they're doing some things.
You would be classified as essential personnel that need.
I know, right?
We know you are just that good, but I mean, could you be classified as essential personnel?
Right. Well, hopefully when things open back up, I could definitely do my Japan tour, get my Rivera jacket. Got to get that.
That's like the only thing left I want. And then I can say, I've never been to Japan. I want the jacket.
Yes.
Then I can, you know what? I was 20 and 21 years old working with Ed Cohen in WWF. And I thought I'd be there forever, of course, which didn't happen because of the WCW and ECW and XFL all imploding at the same time. They didn't need people that weren't working in Connecticut. And great learning experience. It was like a free college education in wrestling. But they still use me for side projects now and then when they need. I'm almost like a bounty hunter for them. When they, I get the call from talent relations, Dan, can you find fill in the blank? And I go, I'm like an assassin. I go out and I fill in the blank for them, and I get a wonderful array of free merchandise and free tickets and things for the kid. But I'd like to get that check from Connecticut. You know what I mean? But it's nice to have friends. It's nice to have friends. But what are you going to do? And we also, interesting. We set up the premiere of Steve Austin's movie, The Condemned, in Boston. I don't know if you ever saw The Condemned.
It was mandatory that we watched it.
Well, that was WrestleMania 23 weekend. Yeah.
Yes,
It
It
would
was
have.
actually good though.
It was good, yeah.
We all kind of like we have because we had such a busy schedule, and then we were forced to watch this movie, but it was actually good.
8 or 9 days later in Boston, Lionsgate and WWE wanted to do a Boston premiere. Steve came in for it, but they didn't have anybody in Boston to be the point man. So I became the point man for it. I got filled the movie theater with just a few days' notice, which was really tough with Steve coming in to watch it. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But, so we have a very nice relationship. Anyone that sees our beautiful set sees the beautiful merchandise we have on there. But if you want beautiful merchandise, fans, we have not one outstanding 8x10s for your wrestling collection. Again, we have just a minute or two left. It's raining. It's pouring. WrestleMania 37. G hasn't decided yet if he is going to take up the invite on being the guest of honor at the show for night 2. Is there a match tonight you're looking forward to on the show?
I am looking forward to the triple threat match.
Now, who do you think leaves with, I don't even know if you can call it championship gold anymore, but who do you think leaves with the leather around the waist?
Leather around the waist. I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a Daniel Bryan.
Now,
fan.
as someone, do you look at it from how you believe it'll play out or how you'd like it to play out?
How I like it to play out. I want to see Daniel Bryan shock the world again. He's good for that.
I think Roman's work has been so good since last August.
Oh, it's been
Along
great.
with,
Heel
and
Roman, I
then
love it.
maybe the most underrated guy in the business right now, I think, is Jey Uso.
Oh,
I mean, his work since when they started using him as a singles baby, instead of having him just sitting around waiting for Jimmy to come back.
Yeah.
First feuding with Roman, then kind of, I don't want to say making him his bitch, but along those lines, he listens to what Roman says and so on. Their work together has been outstanding.
What happened to Jimmy, by the way? I'm trying to change the subject. What happened to him?
Does anyone know how he's injured? Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's injured? No?
I always heard. I have no idea where he's been, what he's hurt with.
Oh, wow.
When they did that Hell in the Cell match between Jay and Roman, and Jimmy ran in, and Roman was just going to finish off his body once and for all with whatever the submission hold was going to be, and Jay practically begged and quit just to end the match. Just what a great storyline that was. It'll be interesting to see how Jimmy plays into things when he comes back. Is he going to be the baby face that he was before he left? But I've always loved Usos. Their chemistry with New Days, it reminds me almost on par of like Edge and Christian in the Hardys. There's matches you could watch 100 times and they'd be great every time. But I don't know. I'm a big Edge guy. I knew Edge. He came in during the Tony Rumble days when he was Sexton Hardcastle back in the late 90s. So there's a part of me that's so happy that he was able to, however he was able to get that neck fixed, that there's ways outside of the United States to have that done.
Stem cell.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But you know what? He's doing it, and good for him. He's making big money doing it. I think it'd be a great emotional moment. As far as Brian goes, I appreciate his work. WWE was nice enough to let us book him he was U.S. champion. Really? He worked on, who Tommaso Ciampa is in NXT.
Yeah.
When he was indie to Tommaso Ciampa, he worked Brian when Brian was the U.S. champion. Only event in wrestling history we had. It had an active WWE champion. Brian was U.S. champion. Active NXT champion. Jay Lethal was the X Division champion. And Eddie Edwards was the Ring of Honor champion.
Wow.
Unless Vince buys those companies, I don't ever see that happening again. So if I can say one thing I did right in one magic moment in one night, it was that event. And then the next month we did that thing at the TD Garden I was telling you about, which was just as cool in a lot of ways for us to have, free reign in the garden. Shelton and I just running around, shooting promos wherever we wanted to, like we own the place. But anyway, fans, we're running out of time. I'm going to hit the refresh button one more time. If you are out of luck, I'm sorry. But the good news is we want to have Jay with us in the studio, and we can do the same thing. We can do these little cyber sessions when he's with us. Again, Los Angeles isn't that far. You're a man, I believe, willing to travel even during these times.
Yes.
This time of day, WrestleMania Sunday has been a little crazy. The afternoon sessions have not gone as good as the night sessions, so not totally unexpected. But Brian, you and your fiance, whatever you do with these 8x10s, baby, maybe when Jen sees just how sexy as hell his beard is on that 8x10, baby, you might be getting more love than you can handle.
Ugh.
Those
Oh,
the
wow.
sheets may be soaked that night. I don't know. It depends. All right. All right. For my friend JTG, I'm Dan Marty. We look forward to seeing you on Wrestling Insider Special Edition coming up on Wednesdays, all spring, all summer. And let's help get things rolling over on the Patreon so we can bring them up to Boston on a regular basis. Again, it's always great to have talent with us that follows the product in 2021 as opposed to 1983 sometimes when the guys kind of fall out of love with the business. I can't wait for you to hear his stories. And again, after we go off the air here, we are having another Wrestling Insiders Marathon today, which includes, if you're not a fan of modern day WWF, you're going to have a full day of great shoot interviews with Vicky Guerrero, TJP, the Warlord, Tatanka, Savio Vega, the Nasty Boys. I'll send you a link if you're bored.
Okay.
You can watch it on the plane ride home. We're signing off, folks. As I was reminded to say last night, not good evening from Tampa, but as Gordon Soley would say, good afternoon from the Sunshine State. We'll see you soon. Be well, be healthy. Good night.
He's out.